Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on this look that I'm wearing here. This is, I'm pretty sure, my first cool tone look that I've ever done on my channel. Typically I lean more towards warmer looks just in general, but I wanted to try something different. So yeah, if you guys are interested and you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I already went in and did a lip scrub. I am going to use a liquid lipstick, so I just wanted to prep my lips. So I used the Fresh Sugar Lip Scrub with the Laneige Sleeping Lip Mask, and I use these together. I think these are great for the winter time. Really anytime if you have dry lips, but definitely in the winter time. So I'm going to start off with primer. I'm using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, mixed, as always, with the Marc Jacobs. I just like to put some of that on there. And just do like a little concoction. So for foundation today, I'm actually going to use the Lancome. I don't know how to say this. I need to look it up. This one, it's this one. It's their really popular foundation. I am in the shade 425 Bisque W. I think W stands for warm. So I'm going to use, that's not very much. Okay, there we go. We'll use 2 pumps. You don't have to use all of it, of course, but I'm just going to place this down. And then I'm going to go in with the Real Technique sponge. One of my friends from work, she was watching my video and she was like, why don't you use the Beauty Blender? Why do you use the Real Techniques instead? And I was just telling her that I just prefer this one. That, and it's a lot cheaper. I don't know how much this is, but like if you just buy one, I want to say it's like $5. I'll have to double check that. But it's like really, really cheap. And I think the Beauty Blender is like, I think it's like $20. And obviously they're both really good. But this one has the pointed edge, which is perfect for getting in the corners and like really doing a detailed job under the eyes. And the Beauty Blender has that too, but the Beauty Blender is just like a little, like a teardrop, whereas this has that flat edge right there. And I just feel like it's just perfect to get in for foundation. So this has just been my preference. I think I tried it on a whim one day just because it was cheaper. So I was like, oh, why not? Let's try it. And now I like prefer it. Next, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty concealer, and this is in the shade 310. I've been pretty obsessed with this stuff lately. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with one more cream product. This is the Hourglass Vanish highlighting stick, and it's in the shade Champagne Flash. It looks like this. Mine's dirty, sorry. But basically, it's just this really pretty cream highlighter. So I'm going to use this, and then I'll just set over a powder later. I'm just gonna use my finger. Okay, next I'm gonna set with powder, and I have been loving this powder. It's so good. This is the Marc Jacobs, their invisible powder in the shade Finish line. I actually heard Olivia Jade talk about this. And so I decided to try it, and I'm obsessed. It's so good. I'm gonna use that on the Goss 02 brush. I just like to always make sure that there is no creasing before I go in with powder. But yeah, this stuff is amazing. You don't need a ton. I don't bake with it, so I don't know how it would turn out. If you baked with it, I'm sure it would be fine. But just like normal setting, it's so, so nice. And it's not like a stark white color. It's got like a, it's like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like, it's got a slight color to it. So, and I think it's nice. I think it'll work for a lot of different skin tones. And then for all over my face, for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Finish, or I'm sorry, Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. And this is in the shade 3 Dark. It just looks like this. Oopsie. And I'm using this on an IT Cosmetics, the Heavenly Luxe Wand Ball powder brush. I'm just doing a light, just a light amount of powder. Trying to avoid the highlight, of course. Okay, so for today's eyeshadow look, I'm actually gonna do a smoky eye, but I'm gonna do a cool tone smoky eye. I can't think of when I've used cool shadows on my channel. I don't think I have. This might be a first. Yeah, I don't typically buy cool tone shadows, not on purpose anyways. If it comes in like a palette, that's fine, but I just don't gravitate towards it. My skin is very warm, and so I just feel like warm tones tend to look better on me, and so that's typically what I gravitate towards. But I do have some really good shadows that are cool tone, and I want to use them. So one is this Burberry shadow. It's so pretty. The packaging is like gorgeous. And this is just one of their single shadows. It's their Wet and Dry Silk shadow. And this is number 103 in the shade Almond. So it looks like that. And I'm just gonna use this as like a transition shade. And I'm using this on the, I think this is the 105. It's like fading, but this is the IT Cosmetic, the 105. And it's just a big fluffy brush. I'm just going to put this all over the crease area. Then I'm gonna switch over to a different blending brush. This is the Hakuhodo, this is the J5523, and it's pinched, so it's gonna be good to get in there. And I'm gonna switch to this Becca palette. This is the Ombre Nudes Eye Palette. And I'm going to use that shade right there. Or no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm going to use that shade right there. There we go, this one. I'm gonna pack it a little bit more on the outer crease, but then I'm just going to blend it in. And trying to keep it a little lower, like right on the crease, maybe even a smidge under. Then I'm gonna go in with another 105, an IT 105. So this is the same one we used earlier, but it's clean. And I'm just going to use no additional product. I'm just taking this and blending this over that initial almond shade that we used. Then I'm gonna go back into the Becca palette, and I'm gonna use this very last dark color on the same Hakuhodo J5523. Yes, 23. And this is like a super, super dark color. So I'm just going to pack this right here on the outer corner, basically on the lid. Then I just wiped off all of that product just so I can get the brush as clean as possible, and then I'm going to blend. Because I want it to be darker on the outer corner, and kind of in the crease, but not like too dark. And when there's not like anything pretty much left on the brush, I'm just blending all over the eyelid. So I'm basically just pooling that dark color over all over the eyelid. Then I'm switching brushes again. I'm going in with the Sigma, the flat definer. This is the E15. And I'm gonna go back in with that last shade. With bottom lashes, I like to start with the darkest shade and then work backwards, like in blending. So I'm just gonna stamp this color all along the lash line. Then I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Forever. This is the 216. It's a little pencil brush. And I'm actually gonna skip the middle shadow and go directly in with that, that light shadow, the shade Almond. And I'm just going to pick some of this up, and I'm gonna use this to blend out that dark shade. Okay, next I'm gonna do my normal nose contour, still sticking with that 216 by Makeup Forever. And I'm gonna use the usual bronzer I use, which is the Hula by Benefit. It's just a nice, I feel like this is kind of warm still, but it just works, and it's kind of a lighter bronzer on my skin tone. So that's why I like to use it for nose contouring. For the rest of the face, I wasn't gonna do an overall bronze. I just kind of wanna do a little bit of sculpting. And I did wanna use a bronzer that was a little bit more cool tone, or I guess just a little bit less warm than what I typically use. And so this is the closest that I have. This is the Too Faced bronzer in the shade Chocolate Soleil. On me, sometimes it pools a little bit cooler than other bronzers. On camera, it looks pretty warm though still, but yeah, okay. And so I'm going to use this on the Morphe, the R10. I love this brush because it's pinched, but it's still kind of fluffy, so you can kind of like blend it out. For blush, I'm gonna use the same blush that I used in my last video, and this is MAC's Pinch O Peach. And I'm gonna use this on the Sigma F10. I feel like this is a really pretty blush for this time of the year. And this is by far the most cool tone blush that I own. So I feel like it works for this video. And for highlighter, I'm gonna use the Sigma F35 with my little baby Becca highlighter. And this is in the shade Opal. Mine is shattered, so looks like that. I need to get another one. I used to have the full size, like a long time ago, but then I got this. So when that one was done, I didn't have to replace it, but now this one's shattered. So I probably, yeah, I need to get a new one. Okay, and then before I finish off the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and spray some of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Love this stuff. Okay. It smells so good. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and finished my eyes. So today I did want to do some eyeliner, and I did end up doing a little wing. And to do that, I used the Eye Defining Pen by Tom Ford. So this is a really cool product. You get two sides. This is the smaller side that's like really good for like tight lining. And then this is the side that I use today, which I feel is really good for wings. And I mean, this is kind of a pricey product, but it lasts a really long time. It makes eyeliner really easy. I feel like you can get your money's worth with this guy. And then with my eyebrows, I did the same thing I usually do. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, and this is in the shade 6. And then I just went over it with Givenchy Mr. Brow Groom, just to make sure all the hairs stay in place. And then for mascara, I'm still on the Maybelline Lash Sensational Kick. I love this stuff. And then, so I did 2 coats of this on the top, and then 1 coat of the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash on the bottom. So now all that's left is the lips. And this, honestly, this whole look was pretty much centered around this lip color. I swatched it at Sephora. This is one of the Sephora cream lip stains. I was just like shopping around and I swatched this and it's so pretty. And then I didn't buy it, but I went back a couple times. Every time I'd go back to Sephora, every once in a while, I would just swatch it. And I loved it. And finally I was like, I'm just gonna get it. So this is, it's like a nude, but it's definitely a cool toned nude color. So it's kind of mauve-y, but you'll see when it dries down, it is pretty cool tone. All right, you guys, so that wraps up this look. I hope you all like it. This is so funny because I mean, like I said, this is definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I really like this look. It's fun to kind of like switch it up sometimes. Again, I usually do warm tone smoky eyes, but this cool look, I'm liking it. So if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification, you know the drill, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.